These are the instructions for making a resume. Now, if you already have one started, go to Google Docs or whatever program you used and go ahead and open that one. We're going to make a copy of it and edit for our needs. Now, if you've never made one, let's go to a desktop computer in the classroom and open up Chrome. When you go to Chrome, over here on the side are your apps. Click on Docs. And then at the top where it says Template Gallery, click that. Scroll down, we have lots of choices for resume design. If you don't like any of these designs, then you can always go to Canva, if you're more of a creative person, and type in resume in the search bar, and you're going to see hundreds of different styles. Once you pick one you like, customize it. And we're going to do the same thing to a Canva design that we're going to do in Google Docs. It doesn't matter which of the two programs you use, you're going to need all the same information. I'm going to work with Google Docs to start with. I like this design with the green. And again, everything is customizable. It would be a good idea to have the example we looked at this week of Bailey's in front of you, as well as the rubric on the back. Let's start with the first thing required on the rubric, your name and contact information. Of course, you're going to type your name here, first name and last name. Make sure you get the capitalization correct. Nicknames are fine, but your first and last name should always be capitalized. Next is contact information on the rubric. For 10 points, I need to get in touch with you somehow if this was a real resume. I don't want people to know what my address is because there's a lot of crazy people out there. So no longer do I put my personal address on there. I might put my school one, but not my home address. I probably would give people my business phone number. So if you want to put your number on there, you can. I'm not going to call you. And then for sure, most people communicate nowadays through email. Go ahead and put your school or personal email address on there. I need at least one way to get in touch with you if this was a real resume. We now have the 10 points for contact information. Next, career goal. It doesn't have to be its own special section. On this particular design, it's underneath the person's name. I want you to imagine that I'm making you get a job in some sort of communications, photography, graphic design, or anything in that area. Bailey chose graphic designer. I'm going to put photographer. Again, this is hypothetical if you had to get a job in our area. So you now have 10 points for whatever job description you've chosen. Education is next. This one happens to be a little lower than Bailey's is. Again, the order does not matter. School name, Midway High School. Location, 8200 Mars Drive, Waco, Texas, 76712. And what you're going to do is, we're not going to get a degree right now. At the bottom, we need to put on there what's on Bailey's example. Now let's start saving us some typing time. On Schoology, there's a folder called Resume Project, and I've put Bailey's example there. Let's go ahead and open this up, whether you're working with Docs or Canva, and just start copying and pasting information. If you wanted to, we could have just copied this whole section for the school information. In fact, I forgot the phone number on there, so let's add the phone number. We can put this on the same line if it will fit, or we can hit enter here. There we go. Address, city, state, zip, and phone number. All right, let's go back to this one. What year will you graduate in? I'm going to copy, Control C, if that works for you, and then paste. Will graduate in May of 2024, 5, 6, whatever year you're going to graduate in. This next part is completely optional. If you are proud of your GPA or class rank, you can put that information here. I'm not really sure what your information would be. For it, this is optional. This is required. That is going to be the education section for 10 points. Next is skills. Let's save ourselves a lot of typing time. Let's highlight all of this from Bailey's. Almost all of this is going to apply to you. Skills. Photography chapter. And I don't know why some of the spacing on this is kind of weird. You can fix it if you want to. You can even add spaces in between them if you want to. It's okay to have more than a one-page resume. Everyone in photography class has done all of this year. Everyone in writing has done all of this. Design, you worked with all of that. Technology, now that's the one we may need to fix. You've worked with Photoshop. You now work with Docs, Slides, Schoology, Pic Collage all the time. Now this last part, either delete if it doesn't apply to you or change it. Any experiences that you've had with social media, make this customized for you. But you need to have these and other skills if you want to add more to that under the skills section for 10 points. Next one, school activities. Let's see if there's awards. I don't even see that section on the template. So let's copy and paste one of the sections so that we have the right colors and capitalization. Let's make one of these sections called school activities. Make it consistent. If it is, capital here or green here, it needs to be the same throughout. So school organizations and volunteer activities. Okay, first, looking at Bailey's, everyone is a member of this commercial photography department. So everyone should have at least one activity to put here. You've been a member of the commercial photography department from 2023 to the present. Now, some of you are members of other clubs. Maybe you're a member of the Business Professionals of America, that is BPA. Pretend somebody who is outside of Midway might see your resume. If they don't know what BPA or FCCLA or FFA is, definitely type it out first and then put the parentheses. Then whatever years you started it, if you're still in it, to put to present. If you only did it for a couple of years, like 2022 to 2023, put that. Each of you are going to have maybe some different specific things here. Also, if you were an officer in a certain club, like if you were in student council, and you were in it from 2020 to present, but you serve as the class president, you need to include that information as well. 2024. See how I've indented? If it applies to the above club, then indent it and put it on a separate line. But again, all of you have at least one item for your required 10 points. You may have more than that, and that's great. Sports would count here too. Volunteer activities. We did several things for the school this year. Food for families, Christmas CPS Adopt a Child. We've had lots of blood drives. We had lots of community service activities here. If you gave money, adopted a kid and brought a present in for that, for your third period class, you could always include that information under volunteer activities. For example, food for families donor in 2023. Maybe you helped out with a blood drive or donated blood drive. You were a donor in 2023. These all count too, as well as anything outside of school. If you have a volunteer activity, please add this here with your years, or to present if it's something you're still doing. Okay, that takes care of that section. Next is contest participation and awards, or honors and awards. You can call it however you want to. I like honors and awards, or contest participation and awards. All of you are going to do the photography show the end of this year. So you need to copy and paste from Bailey's. You are going to be a featured artist in the 2024 Midway's Photography Student Show. That comes up pretty soon. You should all have at least one thing here for your 10 points. Now I want you to think, did you enter any photography contest? Did you do anything for sports, for other clubs, for anything inside or outside of Midway that you've won awards for? Please list them here with the year. If it was multiple years, put all of the years. I think on Bailey's, she was a member of a couple of other things, BPA. She did Art on Elm, PTA Reflections. So please add on there what is true for you, but a minimum of that one item. Next on the rubric is other skills. Let me see if there's another skills section. Nope, I'm going to copy and paste this again. And we're going to call it other organizations and skills. All of you have at least one skill. You're going to copy and paste because you've been using iPads forever. All of you have experience creating products with iPad Air. Some of you have taken foreign language classes like Spanish, or some of you truly are bilingual or multilingual and speak other languages. That would be a good place to put that you are Lingual in English and Spanish or another language. You can even specify that you can speak and write those languages, or maybe just speak. Some of you have 1 or 2 years, maybe 3 years experience in Spanish or French or other classes. Definitely list that information here. Even if you're not fluent, at least having some sort of experience outside of your basic academics is important. Maybe you play an instrument. Maybe you have other talents. Definitely list those here. This is also a great place to list any outside of school organizations, church religious groups, volunteer organizations, things that you do outside of Midway. Please put the years and what you've done for them in this similar format as above. Finally, we have references. I think that was up here. Oh, this is job experience. This is actual work experience. If you've never had a job ever, you can delete this one section as optional. If you've ever had a job, Bailey had worked at Fuddruckers. If you work at McDonald's, if you mow lawns, if you babysit, please fill out this information. But if you've never earned money from somebody doing a job outside of school, you could actually delete this whole section. It is up to you on that. Finally, we need references, people who would vouch for you if this was a real resume. Go back to Bailey's. I will be your reference person number 1 if you need me. If you already have 2 people, you're good, okay? Have some place or some way to get in touch with them. I'm not going to call them or email them, but hypothetically. Then you need another person to be your reference person. This can be a friend, this can be a teacher, a coach, anybody, a way to get in touch with them, an email address, a phone number, anything like that will do. It does need to be correct information, but again, I'm not going to get in touch with them. You can leave the link on there. If it gives you a blue underline, that's fine. Somebody could just right click and email that person. Or if that bothers you, you can right click and remove link. Again, that is totally up to you. I think we've included everything here. Let's review contact information, career goals on there somewhere, an education section, a skills section that you modify, school activities, organization and volunteer activities, contest participation and awards, or honors and awards is fine. Other skills, all of you have at least one there, and at least 2 references. You're going to turn in a rough draft first, so just file, download a PDF and turn in that PDF on Schoology. You'll get it back edited. We could probably also go through and kind of clean this up for spacing and margins and so on. You could even go through and change colors if you want to, but that is how to do a basic resume. Go by the rubric and use the example of the other student.